Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and gabbing, maybe some microphone gabbing at the after party.
With DJ Eric, Pagey.
Always wait to see what you're gonna do. I never know what it is. It's so unpredictable.
What I did, I was muted the whole time.
Oh, were you? Were you? Okay.
Yeah. It must have been Lance getting ready for his Footlocker job.
Oh, that was cold. That was cold.
I was holding that in. I was going to say it before, and I thought, no, wait till we're live.
You gotta wait. Yeah, get him.
Got
him. Got him.
I don't like it. I don't know what brand this is. I just saw it online and said, "Let me buy it."
New pair of. Can I have a new pair of Air Maxes, please?
It's very like
exactly?
it's very like Izod. Do you remember those shirts, Izod? The little. I think it's a little. Isn't it a little alligator? I don't know.
Oh, Lacoste.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Lacoste.
I don't wear
Izod.
like polos. I don't wear polo shirts. So
Yeah, you wear just cardio bracelets and.
yeah.
Why is my computer sending
And
me over?
everything's all blue today. It's all blue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
You're gonna sing. You're gonna.
I
sing
wasn't
that.
gonna sing it. I was not gonna sing it. What was that, Lance?
Flash Freak says you look like Beast to Gohan right now.
I think Eric looks like a weeb.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right, we have a couple of things before we get started. I already see some super chats and some Team Eric member chats. Today's topics, we got a lot of stuff, so we're going to kind of like just blow through everything quickly. But Naruto here is a Team Eric member for 7 months. Demons and She-Hulk. Mephisto confirmed. We were just talking about that before we got started, actually.
Why wasn't? I was listening.
Do we want to go ahead and talk about She-Hulk? Just get it out of the way then?
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way.
Okay. Spoilers for She-Hulk episode 4. Yeah, so this was like a Wong-ish episode, a Wongers episode where he's watching Sopranos and all that stuff. And we had a magician who I think was he an exiled magician from Kamertage? Was that the storyline? I thought,
Yeah.
or
He was he was supposed to be like an apprentice or something.
he didn't work out.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so Wong wants to file what did he call it? Some kind of an injunction to stop him from like performing magic.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah. So I thought that was a little silly, but that's She-Hulk. Like we've already established that's what the show's about. So I mean, it's fine. But the star of the episode was Madison with 2 N's and a Y, but not where you think. I'm surprised how much I love this character because I totally, when she first came on screen, I'm like, I'm going to hate this character. She's annoying. And I actually thought she was going to be like a throwaway character, like one of those characters that shows up at the beginning and they're just part of whatever the scene is and then you don't see them again. And then she came back Yeah, it was fine. And we had She-Hulk Jennifer trying to date so this is the weird thing. Apparently Tinder was advertising for She-Hulk. But then on the show, they use a MCU app like Tinder, but called Matcher, which I thought was a little weird.
I think it's because at the time they didn't have the agreement between them.
So you think it was like it came later on or something?
The MCU is not going to sit there and advertise Tinder for free.
That's true. You're absolutely right. So they have this Matcher thing with the swiping stuff. And so she's trying to date as Jennifer, but then she switches to She-Hulk and immediately gets like, a ton of options and things like that. I've actually seen some channels pushing a really weird narrative about that situation. Have you seen those videos?
No, I blocked all of them.
Okay. I actually saw a clip from one, which I thought like when you run out of stuff to complain about, you start just manufacturing stuff. So She-Hulk and Jennifer are the same person.
Yeah.
They're not two different people. it's the equivalent of like you going out and wearing a costume or putting on makeup or something like that. It's literally just it's the same person. A lot of those channels were saying that because she was dating as She-Hulk and not her normal self, that she didn't get proper consent from the guy she was dating.
Oh, brother.
Right. So that's the level that they have sunk to now to try and like attack the show.
I have seen something about that. Excuse me.
It's stupid. It really is. It's really
My
stupid.
thing is, the people know what Jennifer Walters actually looks like because her face was plastered.
Yeah, her identity
all over
is not
every
secret.
news station.
It's not secret. People know who she is.
They just aren't interested in regular Jen. They want her Hulk form.
Right.
That's not catfishing.
Right. But anyway, so they have the dating scenario set up, which I thought was fun to kind of see her navigate this world. Something I've noticed about the show that I think a lot of people either misunderstood in the beginning or maybe it just was like lost in translation, but it's not really a superhero show. It's about a person with superpowers. Yeah. Because she's made it very clear she's not trying to be a super. Now, does that mean she'll never put on a costume and never be a superhero later on? No, it could possibly happen. That could totally happen. But this show is about a person who wants to live their normal life, but happens to have superpowers. And so that's kind of the scenario of the series. So the way it moves and the way it functions like a sitcom with a lot, doesn't have a lot of action and stuff like that, totally goes along with what the show actually is. And so, I'm enjoying it for those reasons. I think it's a lot of fun. It was interesting to see what would happen to a magician who lives in a world where like Marvel superheroes exist. Because think about it, how would you ever like who would go and see a show from a magician who makes like rabbits come out of their hat and stuff like that when you have like, people with superpowers and Doctor Strange is a real person. Like it just like that must be a really hard job, honestly. Also wondered, so like when we're watching The Boys, the superheroes actually partake in the entertainment aspect. So there's a lot of superhero media, but it's basically done by people that have powers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like trying to be a celebrity in this world and make superhero movies? Like what would movies look like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because I mean, superheroes are real. Aliens are real. Like what I thought about that when I was watching She-Hulk and I'm like, like what would be entertainment at that point?
That's something I gotta sit down with and like really think about. That's a good question. I've actually never thought about it like that.
Yeah. It's one of those like thoughts that pop in your head and I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Flash Freak with a $4.99 super chat and a Team Eric member. When will we get the next trailer for the After Party feature film? And how's your cat, Eric? My cat's fine. Thank you for asking. Yeah, just being a dumb cat. But yeah, he's fine. You have to ask Pagey about that because Pagey is the one that dropped that trailer for the After Party film. Pagey, any new future trailers in the works?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Is there something going on behind the scenes?
Yes, but I have to go for like 2 seconds. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. That was random. All right. Like, not only did he go, but he went. Like,
wow.
Dropped out and left. So that's funny. Okay, he'll be back soon. All right.
Paige's been acting real suspicious the past couple of days.
I know. I don't know if I trust it. That's the thing. I don't know if I trust it. I'm wondering what's happening. Oh, he's back.
People were scared. I thought it was going to come back as the Unabomber.
Yeah, everybody was like waiting to see what was going to happen.
I do have a video. Oh my goodness.
Perfect image with a nice super chat. Hey, I like that you critique on DC's what?
Writing than acting.
Oh. Okay, well, thank you, Perfect Image. I appreciate it. I thought that I saw the writing, but then there's an S, and I was like, what is that? Pens? Word? Like,
I think Pen 15. I think that's what it says.
I'm not going to play this unless you have tested it on your channel.
I've tested it. I wouldn't have asked you to play it if I hadn't tested it.
All right. I'm nervous because
Me too.
these videos have been very controversial.
Well, did last week's ones get?
No. I just mean in general, like it's just been very
Okay.
controversial.
Well, no. I was wondering that's why you might have been saying because you want to go to claim on last week's one.
Yeah. Let's get through She-Hulk first before we do this because I don't
Okay.
want to break it up a little bit. All right. So anyway, I enjoyed this week's episode.
Me too.
I thought it was a lot of fun, and I feel like there's things you can criticize She-Hulk on that are valid. There's a lot of I don't think the CGI is the best. Obviously, the VFX is just not as solid, but we're getting like movie expectation VFX on a weekly TV show. And so you have to understand that it's not going to be perfect, right?
I will say you can tell that they are really trying to save on the budget by getting rid of the transformation scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Because personally for me, when you're watching a scene and like she's Jen 1 minute and then they go to another scene and she's just automatically She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
The first time they did that, it kind of like took me out of it because I'm like, wait, what did we miss? Why did she transform? Like you just transformed the She-Hulk just to sit in front of your computer screen at home, like. And then for the one transformation that they did show, they just showed her face turning green, and then boom, she was She-Hulk. I'm like, okay, I get saving money on some things, but for that little thing, you could have showed the whole transformation. They did the quick zoom in and zoom out thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like on that scene when she was sitting in the kitchen, it didn't look excellent, but at the end, like when she came back through the portal and mounted our little friend on the couch, that CGI looked great.
Right. It's all about lighting. That, like honestly, CGI when it comes to like anything, it's just about the lighting. Because that's one of the hardest things to do. Lighting is such an like if you're watching something and you're not paying attention to it, lighting really sets the mood for the scene. And good lighting is so good you don't notice that there's an issue because it's so good. It's one of those like I don't even know what the word would be. Like it's a portion of filming that people don't generally think about is lighting. So with CGI, it becomes very obvious because if you look at something like, The Flash, we'll use like Grodd and King Shark as an example. A lot of the best shots are at nighttime because you don't have to focus so much on the lighting and how the lighting looks on skin and texture because it's so dark.
Yeah.
But when you put something in daylight, it has to look real, like super real.
And that's the problem when she's at the office.
Yes.
Especially
100%.
in her office.
With windows that are open completely.
Exactly. I'm like, can she get some tint or something? Because in there, she looks like Gumby.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I also think it's hilarious how she has to wear her dad's suits.
Yes, that is funny too.
But when she was wearing a regular size shirt is Jen. And then when she transformed to She-Hulk, it still fit.
Yeah, don't think about it too hard. It's not going to make any sense. I'm assuming that when she does actually become a superhero, she'll get some sort of like.
She's supposed to have her her comic book spandex onesie thing next week. I think next week is when she's supposed to meet Daredevil and proceed to flirt with him a lot.
Yeah, because we're getting close to the end. We're at over the halfway mark now. So yeah. Yes, these do have glasses in them because these are actual gaming glasses. They have like the
gamer.
Filter, so yeah,
gaming man.
Pagey, I thought you were a gamer as well.
Oh, actually, updates. It's happened.
He has the PlayStation 6. No,
we're at the yearly thing. Eric, get the balloons out. You might have saved. I've pre-ordered FIFA. It's out in a week and a half. FIFA has been pre-ordered. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So is it true that like FIFA and all the sports games are basically just copies of the same game every year with new characters?
They really used to be. I was in my head, it's always like a block of 2 years. So like it's pretty much the same game every 2 years, but because I play the online thing, you sort of have to get it up every year. Otherwise you can't play it after
Interesting.
that thing. So there's the update. I was tempted to pre-order Hogwarts Legacy, but I'm gonna wait until there's another trailer.
Pagey, can you confirm this or what? The $5.
It was pretty. When I woke up and saw it, it was a bit sad. Because when I went to bed the previous night, I think it just came out that she was going into hospital or something.
Yeah, I saw that
or something. And then when I woke up, she'd passed away, and I was like, oh, yeah, because it's a big thing. Like if you're like you two are Americans, you have no idea, but like for all the Commonwealth nations, all of our money has to change, our
Mhm.
stamps. Even like we have public holiday like Queen's birthday. Like we don't have the Queen anymore, so it's King's birthday.
It's really weird because I said something that I didn't even realize when she had passed away. I was talking to my friends and I was like, who's the next queen? And they're like, it's a king. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh shit, because my entire life it's been a queen.
That's the thing. Everyone here, even if you're 1 year old and you're for some reason watching this, I wouldn't watch it. Eric's twerking, bad influence. But there's not going to be a queen in any of our lives anymore.
Right.
She's it. And it's the end. It's a historical thing because it's the end of the second Elizabethan age. Like that's a 70-year period in history that's now come to an end. So now I think that it's the Charlarian, I think they're calling it, whatever it is, which will probably only go for 15 or 20 years because Charles is already pretty old.
I was like, oh, he's already like a boomer, basically. So
yeah, there won't be a queen for, oh God, depends on lineage. Like no one alive now will be queen.
Yeah. Wow. Well, with that being said, I really enjoyed this week's episode of She-Hulk. I think Madison was the scene stealer because Wong is so stoic. So Madison being like this total like Jersey Shore girl with Wong was hilarious to me.
With Wongers.
But I get it. I this show isn't going to be for everybody, but folks that don't like it have to understand that it doesn't have to be for you, right? Like people can like different stuff. I don't know why this. I'm not really sure why there's certain shows that people believe that if they don't like it, it shouldn't exist and nobody can like it. I don't know why that is. It's such a weird. It's like people fixate on that with certain properties.
Well, I know that Eric, you had that issue with Snowtown because you love it so much, and there's that protest for it to not exist.
Yeah.
The barrels.
The CW just posted on Instagram a mashup of The Flash and Powerless.
Oh, I saw on Twitter a couple of hours ago. Yeah.
I don't know what they're attempting to do. Are they trying to get it's Powerless?
No, it's just a thing for the CW app.
Hey, Symbia, let me ask you a question. Does She-Hulk ruin everything else that you love for Marvel? Like all of the other movies and TV shows? Does She-Hulk existing ruin all of that? And if the answer to that is no, then it's not ruining the Marvel brand.
The only thing I can side with when people bring it up is like sort of bringing in characters which, like X amount of months ago we had them in such a serious role, and then you come in and they're watching Sopranos with some drunk girl. That doesn't make sense. But I've always said, like, I would like it if they use She-Hulk and it's like through her perspective and how she's seeing things, how she would think that Wong would be acting right now or something like that. I think when you break the fourth wall,
I think the thing is though that I don't think that you have to watch. Like this show doesn't feel to me like you have to watch it. Right?
No, it's not essential viewing.
So if you don't like that version of that character, I don't think you have to worry about it like being an issue later on. And
well, for now at least.
Well, I mean, I don't think that Wong is going to come back and just all of a sudden be She-Hulk Wong in a Doctor Strange.
Well, the thing is, once the MCU starts running out of ideas, don't be surprised if there's Wong and Madison, 2 N's and a Y, take on Reno or something like that. Like that's the new series.
I don't think it'll be a series. I think that was a good joke, though. I think it was funny.
I'm getting so much reflection off your glasses here.
Are you?
I feel like
are you?
Looking in a mirror.
Yeah, I think that the hyperbolic nature of like the hate for the show, like if you don't like something, don't watch it. Like I just don't understand what's so difficult about that. We're like over halfway through now, and you're still watching it. I don't like why are you wasting your time? I need someone in the chat to explain this to me. If you don't like something, why are you wasting your time watching it and being mad about it? Like there is so much stuff out there to watch and see. Why are you watching something that you don't like? I will never understand that. I just will not. Like fair enough if you watch the first couple of episodes and you're giving it a chance. But at this point, you know what the show is.
Yeah, I think the issue is that they baited people in with Daredevil, so there's people waiting for him. But the thing, it's also publicly known he doesn't show up until like episode 4 or 5 as well. So You can just watch the Daredevil stuff. And
I
then
don't
move
believe.
on.
So here's my deal. And before we move on to Stargirl, and we'll watch this video that Pagey has. I don't believe the people that are doing it for clicks hate the show. That's the thing. I don't believe if you're watching it every single week at 3:00 in the morning or wherever it comes out in your time, and you're on top of it and you're making reviews immediately, you don't hate the show. I'm sorry, you don't hate it.
Do you want to flex?
Do not hate it.
All the Disney Plus shows come out like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. my time.
They don't hate it. They are making money off of people being outraged.
Yep.
They don't actually hate the show. Honestly, they do not.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you why that is. Because they know that outrage clicks equal money.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I could do the same thing on my channel, except for the fact that I don't want to pretend that I hate something and have people jump in and dogpile on something that they... I would actually say that half the people that criticize it talk about how cringe it is because they just like the community. They just want, because they know the minute they say they like something that community doesn't like, they would be exiled. Nobody would ever speak to them again. So when something comes out that community has decided,
didn't you say that someone said that they like She-Hulk in that community and they've sort of been exiled from conversations around it?
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that.
It's just like you have to say what they say or you're no longer part of that community. Whereas Eric, for me, you don't have to agree with me. We can say,
Eric, do you have any
all day, you know?
Do you have any nice chilled glasses there next year? Like chilled a cup. Glasses? Like have they been in the freezer? You got to put some because I've got a great batch of Kool-Aid. It's right here.
Oh, really?
I'd like to know whether you would like to take a sip of it.
Yeah.
What flavor Kool-Aid?
It's a mixture, it's a combo.
Oh.
It's the old 1 scoop of each.
Oh,
Symbiote, I appreciate your support. I really do.
I don't know if it goes well, probably doesn't, but we're going with it.
But what you're saying still doesn't answer my question. If you do not like it,
really doesn't.
Then why are you watching it? Why are you following content creators that are talking about it?
Preach.
I've made a total of 3 She-Hulk videos, and I love the show. But there are content creators that say they hate it, and they've made 50 videos about She-Hulk. So you're getting more She-Hulk content. You're getting more She-Hulk content from the people that say they don't like it than the channels that actually do. So my question goes back into the ball again.
Like, you know what it reminds me of?
Why are you watching it? What?
It reminds me of vegans. Vegans talk more about meat than people that eat meat.
That's true. That is true.
There's your insult, Eric, because they'd hate vegans.
That is a really good analogy.
Nothing against vegans, but you can't deny that. That's just
all right. Staggervore here. By the way, in the chat, give me your score of She-Hulk. What did you think of this week's episode? I'm curious what people think. Why is Lance wearing a bowling shirt? You are getting roasted over your style choice today, Lance.
You know what? That's fine. All right. I think this shirt makes me look very sophisticated and dare I say,
yeah. By the way, he has no deals on new, Nike Dunks. Like he just doesn't.
You know what?
Someone else.
I would go out on a limb to say that if any of the people who have had negative reactions to She-Hulk came out next week with an episode they actually liked and they were like, "This was a good episode," it was like an 8 or 9 out of 10. All of the people in their comments would be roasting them 100%, because it's not actually about having an opinion; it's about following the leader, basically. Anyway, you can not like She-Hulk. Absolutely don't. You don't have to like it. I will never understand why people continue to watch something they don't like. I just don't get it. So see, like Cyberbolt immediately goes to the extreme. Are people not allowed to dislike She-Hulk?
Cyberbolt, they can dislike it, but why keep
Where did I ever say that in anything that I just said?
Eric, that's the vibe I got from you, to be completely.
No, you did not. Don't even play into it because these trolls.
I love a good.
My question again, which nobody has answered, is if you don't like it, why are you still watching it? That is my question, and no one is answering it because there is no answer. There's no answer. There's no logical answer for it.
Can we get a dab to just sort of freshen things up a bit? Oh, that was pretty clean.
That was really
like I think I do think everybody's issue with it is because, I mean, who doesn't like a good comedy? Like it's not meant to be a serious show. And
Max, it's not curiosity when you've been watching it for 4 episodes when you know you don't like it.
By the way, can I just report we have now talked about She-Hulk for as long as the She-Hulk episode.
Yeah, we have, and we're about to move on.
Yeah.
Thank the Christ, our Lord. There we are. Jesus. Fell asleep on it.
Symbiote, that still doesn't answer why you're still watching it. Stop
Like,
giving
if
me
you don't want a
excuses for why you
comedy,
don't like
just
it. I
don't
don't care
watch
why
it.
you don't like it. I don't care why you don't like it. You don't have to like it.
You're
That
going
wasn't
out
my
of your
question.
way on Thursdays to go to Disney Plus and click it and sit there for 30
Let
minutes.
me watch the
It
show immediately
doesn't
that I
make-
don't like.
it doesn't make
Oh, it's so
logical
bad.
sense.
I don't know why it's so bad. Oh God, it's such a bad show.
Eric,
no.
thank you for creating a new GIF. Thank you very much for that. I will be clicking that later
Everybody
on.
know that I'm not watching She-Hulk. Oh, it's so bad, cringe. MCU. Like it's just
You look
it's
like
ridiculous.
you're from
It's
like
so
Team
stupid.
America or Thunderbirds or something like
It's
that.
so stupid. It's like I watch that stuff and I'm like, what?
Exactly.
Really?
Like Calvin makes a good point. Like you can want She-Hulk to be whatever you want, but they said from the get-go, it's a comedy. If you knew you weren't gonna like a She-Hulk comedy, why tune in the first place? All right. And
I'm enough for it.
watching
enough.
for Daredevil, and it's not gonna be the Daredevil that you wanted to be.
I'm not even like
Oh.
that's still not a reason to watch something you don't like. I'm sorry. It's just not. Anyway. All right. Thank you for the shout out, Canada Graphs. Yes, if you watch over on Twitch, it's apparently ahead. We're in the future on Twitch. It's 2 seconds faster than it is over here.
Technically, Pagey's been in the future though.
That's true. That is
Well,
true.
yeah, it's Sunday at 9 a.m. right now. So
Staggervore with the 49 super chat. Hey Eric, I watched the actual fandom video with you as his guest. You guys made a lot of good points when it comes to review bombing. So yeah, so he contacted me, Dane, over at Actual Fandom, and he wanted to use my She-Hulk video, or he was using my She-Hulk video to talk about in his video. And so I was in the chat and he was like, hey, do you want to jump on? And so I did. It was a lot of fun. They cover a lot of the stuff over there that frustrates me. So I tune in to his channel for that. So go check it out. I believe the videos it was out last week, I think it was last week. Yeah, it would have been last week. So let's see. Was there any more super chats before I'm very concerned about this video, and I'm going to give a disclaimer before you play it. Oh, there's a super chat here. Perfect Image 999. To be honest, I haven't watched She-Hulk yet because I'm waiting for the season to end to go all out. But I'm coming critique because I'm okay. Listen to my favorite YouTuber, but that's just me. Okay, so you haven't watched it. All right, that's fine. I mean, some people prefer to watch things all at one time. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. The only problem with that I do have for me personally, not for you, is there's too many spoilers floating around, and I feel like a lot of things with these Marvel shows get spoiled so quickly. I mean, it's like with She-Hulk. So I do have a gripe with Disney Plus. Like releasing stuff in the middle of the night for most of the world is awful, because it's like you wake up the next day and, Screen Rant already has 5 articles on every Easter egg, and they're going to put it in the thumbnail of all of their tweets.
If you want to be completely honest, with every Disney Plus show,
mm-hmm.
Screen Rant's articles have literally only been, is this Mephisto? That's literally all Screen Rant does. Is this Mephisto?
Well, you said it this week, and we had a chat about it, a Team Eric member chat earlier talking about Mephisto.
That's just to shut up the weirdos. That's all.
Yeah. Amethyst here with the 49 super chat. I do dating apps, so I thought an underlying comment was on point. If you ever date through the apps, you get it. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Some apps are different, but the ones that swipe, it was very accurate to the swiping apps.
Pagey's on Tinder.
Really? Are you?
I haven't used Tinder for like 3 years. It's like 90% dudes trying to get their rocks off. Like, no.
Cody with the $5 super chat. People went into this expecting BCS for some reason. For She-Hulk.
I think it was just because they mock the advertising or parody of the advertising. That's about it. I don't think they really were saying, "Oh, this is going to be Better Call Saul," but 25 minutes.
No, I think they made it very clear early on though that it was going to be like Ally McBeal, and that's exactly what it's like. So, I mean, little movie perp. It's good to see you. He's also someone that I have chatted with over on Actual Fandom. Glad to have you in the chat. Appreciate it. All right, so this video, that I want to make this very clear, I have no idea what this video is. So before anyone wants to come for me, this is the person you should be going after. Is Scotty doesn't know. That's who you should be going after. Whoever that is. I think it's Pagey, but it could be anybody. I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
don't know who.
not making assumptions here.
I
It's a
think
voice modulator anyway. So
I think it's Ben.
Is it? All right. Here we go. I don't. This is only, it's a minute and 35 seconds. If this gets this stream flagged, I'm gonna be really like annoyed.
well, I tested it. So if it's just something with your channel. But last week's one, nothing happened.
Wait,
So
wait,
it should be fine.
Is this the one you sent me?
We'll wait and see. 3, 2, 1. A public apology.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Hi, is this
Canada Graphs?
Yeah.
The Canada Graphs that appears on the after party?
Yeah. Who's this? This is a.
Pagey.
You probably don't remember me, but
But I appeared on the after party with you.
I kind of gave you a hard time back then, and I did some things that I thought were funny at the time, but now I realize they were just mean and stupid, and just wanted to apologize, and I hope you forgive me.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. It's no problem.
Wow, well, that's great. Well, I am sorry, and maybe we can get together sometime and have some
Pepsi.
coffee or something.
Sure, I'd like that.
Okay, well, I'll see you around.
Okay. Bye.
I'm muted.
What?
Chris Wood.
Oh my!
Hold on. This is Canada Graphs people to kill list. I don't know how Earth 2 Eric ended up on there. That's I mean, number 1 and number 2 are obvious. Number 4 obvious. Recent events. What did Earth 2 Eric do?
I don't know. It's been a while since we've seen Earth 2 Eric. So
I'm lucky though. I'm off the list. I'm off the list. It's all good.
So do I have to just call and apologize that same way? Is that what I have to do? Or
Well, it's not you. It's Earth 2 Eric.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Well, I
me.
don't know. You sometimes get rude interruptions from him, so maybe whenever he shows up again, just randomly walks in through your office door. I guess you can relay the information.
7-Eleven is a convenience store. I don't know where you are, so I'm not sure if you have them where you're at, but they're convenience stores. They sell this is it's like a small
7-Elevens are
grocery
everywhere.
store. Huh?
Oh, over here. I thought they'd be everywhere. 7-Elevens. I thought they'd
Really?
be an easy joke to get.
That's privilege, Pagey. You shouldn't.
What a Slurpee! Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't had a Slurpee in a while. I'm probably gonna.
I had a Slurpee
one
about
later,
3 weeks
so-
ago because it was a random hot day. I don't know. Slurpees, I feel like they have changed it a bit. Like it feels like it gets really icy. You know, you drink it and just like there's just like the ice clumps. I don't know.
Mhm.
Feels like it's just the world's changed.
Is that masterpiece going to be uploaded to Twitter later so we can?
I will. I might upload. Do you have a tweet that I can just reply to right now? Write a tweet
Uh,
saying like I twerked or something, and I'll.
Okay, we'll do that. So,
Oh, you got a
um,
tweet from 12 hours ago. Why'd you use Jada Pinkett Smith? Is that a flex or is that a subtweet?
it was a subtweet.
Okay.
So, there you
It's not slap revolving. Just says, that's love.
maybe I don't know. All right, so now we are going to talk about. All right, so just moving forward, the topics are going to be we're going to talk about D23, and then we'll talk about the Black Adam trailer. So, but before we get to that, let's talk briefly about Stargirl. My Stargirl review did not come out this week. I do apologize, but I'm going to give you guys all my thoughts on it here in the after party today. All right, so we had the mystery. I believe this episode was titled "The Suspects," right? Season 3, episode 2, "The Suspects." Wasn't that the title of the episode? I believe it was.
I thought it was called Just Sus.
Just sus,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, it wasn't. I think it was
Sylvester
Among Us. It was Among Us.
Mm,
I think that's what it's called.
Among Us. All right.
Among Us, yeah.
Are the people in the red suits running around?
I never played the game. All I know is Among Us and Imposter and Sus or something.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
We moved on.
Oh,
From
by the
She-Hulk.
way-
if you guys want to keep talking about She-Hulk in the chat, go ahead. We've
By the
already-
way, did you like the Arrowverse Rings of Power crossover this week, Eric?
the Rings
With
of Power?
Amanda Waller?
Was she
She
on?
plays Yeah, she plays the Queen of Numenor.
That was her
Yeah, that was the Amanda Waller.
from the
You
Arrow.
noticed that?
Right?
Yeah,
I didn't even
that
notice
was
that.
a-
No, I didn't
Oh,
notice.
didn't you?
I mean, I knew I recognized her from somewhere. I just didn't put two and two together because we hadn't seen her in like what 7 years, 6 years, something like that. It's been a while.
Yeah, what, like season 4 or 5 of Arrow? I think she was
Yeah.
in. That was the last time. And then she blew up or whatever it was because
Yeah.
they're like, no, we're using the Suicide Squad movie.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
What are we? Some kind of elf?
So in Stargirl this week, we are setting up more options for who did it. And we get a flashback to the gambler, and we get to see a bit more about what happened with him, from his perspective. And what did you think of the dance routine there? Like sugar, like sugar, like sugar. They had at the beginning of the episode.
It gave me DJ Eric vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually thought, if Eric ever wanted to be super edgy, that he could like cut his mustache and stuff into that goatee.
What? Oi!
Oh, Jesus!
It's too early for that, Eric. Too early.
Demonetized. Oh, God.
I actually like that Shaka Khan song, but most people don't know about it. So yeah.
I thought, well, how come you danced to that? We didn't dance to, Gonna Make You Sweat from last week. I thought that would have been the
that one was a little bit funkier, and I have
Did
to
they
say
do
that- I was gonna say the
rap portion?
gambler.
I think they did
The what?
the rap portion of that song.
I believe they did. Yeah, I think
they did. Did they? Yeah.
This
is the goal.
I have to
Back
say,
with
though,
the boots.
I'm getting very jealous because the gambler has some really nice threads, and I'm like, I need some.
But there's
I need
also
some
needs
suits
to
like
question
that.
how he fit like 12 suits in one suitcase. We can just assume it's a magical case.
It's also the question of like 5 of those suits are the same.
Okay, it wasn't a dance routine; it was a dance moment inside of his new.
It was like
new house.
It was like awkward dad dancing, but with like a Savannah appeal.
Well, happy birthday, Laura! I didn't know your birthday was coming up. But happy early birthday.
Oh, by the way, it's September 11th in Australia.
Is it?
Yeah.
A moment of silence.
Well, no, it didn't happen here, so we don't have to do
I
that.
was gonna say, it's not an Australian thing.
Yeah.
So we got to see that. What did you think about the backstory for the gambler? Did it make you? Are we confident now there is actually a Becky?
I told you.
I think there is.
Was
it wouldn't? Maybe Becky's the murderer.
That's possible.
I'm gonna tell you
someone
who
connected to where
the
she is at the
murderer
moment.
I know who the murderer is already. I figured it out.
Are you sure?
Yes.
James Brown. I don't know.
No, I'm trying to tell y'all. It's Sylvester.
I mean, that's what everybody's been saying, though. I don't.
All right.
I don't.
I have a theory. I have a crazy theory, but it's a theory. Now, we know Mr. Bones is going to be, in this season. We know how he likes to do his experiments. Who's to say that Sylvester was really in the ground for all of those 10 years? Because I'm sticking to my guns. Nobody can survive that long. I don't care if you're attached to a cosmic staff or not. What if he was experimented on and has blackouts? Do we know where Sylvester was at the time?
Okay. So one of the things that I think, that brings up a good question. But let me just point this out. They made a focus on the fact that Sylvester didn't have anyone at his funeral except for one person, which was Pat.
Patrick.
Yeah. So did Pat double check to see if he was in the casket or not?
Pat doesn't seem like the person to be that thorough, honestly. At least not at the time. Like,
so you think he just took it for granted? He's like, oh, he's in the casket.
He took it to the fact of, I saw him die. I saw them take the body, but this is fiction. This is comic book stuff.
So
anything can happen.
there's other people saying that it's not Sylvester. I've seen a couple people in the chat say that. But if he's not, then how would he have access to the staff? The staff wouldn't go to him if it wasn't Sylvester.
Like I said, the staff is. I think the staff is kind of defective. It's like a dumb dog. I don't think the
I don't know if
staff
there's any.
is the same since Eclipso rubbed it the wrong way.
Can I be a newsman for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
If there's anyone from Australia watching, we get a public holiday on 22nd of September because of the death of the Queen.
Oh,
It just got announced now. So
like a bank holiday? Is that a day of the week or
just
something?
like a public holiday. I don't know. Do you call them bank holidays?
Well, we call them bank holidays if the banks are closed because that typically means that it's a labor holiday. Like government offices are closed, so that's why it's always considered a bank holiday. Whoops.
Oh, it's because the banks are closed.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a generic term.
Oh, I didn't know that because I think everywhere else it's called. I guess that makes sense. I think everything's just closed on a public holiday except for like the news agent or something. I don't know.
Well, banks are generally
no.
expected to be open. So when
apparently in the UK they call it a bank holiday as well. So maybe we're the ones that are all over the place calling it a public holiday. But I guess the public get a holiday, so it makes sense. We're right. You're wrong.
Keita here says Pagey took an L on his review video by saying the writing said the killer has many faces instead of names.
I can't remember if I did or didn't, so it doesn't bother me. That's in the past. You know me, I don't dwindle in the past.
So speaking of that, we got the two. I guess they're not both. Are they both considered hosts for Thunderbolt, or is it just?
It's just Jakeem, and that's my only question mark at the moment is hopefully they develop Jakeem a bit more to be confident with the pen rather than just him being the person
that says the wish. Yeah,
just relays Mike's wishes.
Yeah.
You know, because Jakeem doesn't seriously. He doesn't seem like he wants it. At least from now, like from the outside looking in.
Can we talk about how Seth Rogen is doing a horrible,
I don't like the new voice.
Horrible Jim Gaffigan impression. It's weird.
I don't like it.
It seems forced, and I just hear Chris Griffin.
But they did say that the killer has many names. Does that make you think that it's someone else?
Starman, Sylvester, the Star Spangled Kid. He does have many names.
So you're still sitting on the...
Yes, because that man is too gung-ho to beat people up. What if he just has blackouts? And for those that... this is all I'll say. And for those that have seen the promo for next week, well, you have seen the promo for next week.
I've seen the promo for next week.
And that just proves my suspicions even further because that's crazy. That was crazy. I'm excited for next week.
So JK says, I think multiple people did it. So maybe it's more than one person.
But why did Shiv go pick up the gun and pull? I get accidentally pulling a trigger, but like you're not just gonna accidentally set a gun off. I don't know.
But then we get like a lot of different stuff in the episode where it like kind of teases who it could possibly be. We obviously have Cindy as a laptop and she's doing some kind of weird shady stuff.
But that proves Courtney's theory wrong once they find out that she has the laptop.
Yeah.
But they know she didn't do it.
Yeah.
I love this murder mystery because it's just going everywhere.
It is. They're doing a good job.
You know what?
What was that?
It's Thawne traveling the multiverse. All right. And he did it.
We have Shade who gets in a fight with Starman. And then do you think he's I mean, obviously he's not gone for the rest of the season, but do you think his storyline is going to tie into like Obsidian and Green Lantern? Do you think that's where it's going? Or
I think so, because that green time particle stuff looks like Green Lantern energy, or something is affecting his powers. And I think he's on the side of good.
Mm-hmm.
So I can definitely say he'll be back because the whole Solomon Grundy thing, I think he's going to come back at the end of the season, and that's when we'll get Grundy back because, well, they're going to try to save on the budget
That's exactly it. That's the same reason why we're not seeing a lot of Stripe. They're trying to like save money on the on each.
We're not seeing a lot of Stripe. We're not seeing a lot of Shade.
Thunderbolt's not popping out very much. He's just kind of like doing.
You hear
stuff
you just hear his voice more.
Yeah.
So
we also had the Crusher and Paula basically teasing whatever they did, and I'm like, that's just a red herring. There's no way that they are connected to this, right? I mean, I feel like they're the least likely to be connected. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I agree.
Okay. Good. What about you, Pagey? Do you think they have anything to do with it?
Who? The Crocs?
Yeah.
Well, they're acting weird. But I think that's why they won't have anything to do with it, because they're acting weird now.
The other two things I want to talk about are the fact that Starman gives or says level up in the episode. Did you hear when he said that? He said level up.
Yeah, I cheered. It was a great moment. Top 10.
And was teaching Courtney how to use the staff and kind of like, push her power, her positivity through the staff, or I think that's the way they made it seem.
to do the starburst.
Yeah. Which is really cool, but I'm not sure like
what would that come in handy? Like,
yeah, I mean, like how would
who's
you
gonna be up
that?
there?
Yeah. I think that's leading into the fact that Starman may actually internalize powers. Like in the comics, at a certain point, he doesn't have the staff; he just has the powers. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen. Because obviously the staff is going to choose Courtney. We saw that in the episode. That it doesn't,
and that was so cool to me to see like that internal struggle, because they could just like when he wanted to just like knock Shade down. It just like was okay, come to me, Mjolnir type thing. And then when she said stop, the staff just immediately flew back to her. So it's like I just thought that's really cool to me. I want to see them push that a little bit further. Like I wonder
the struggle between the staff and Starman and Stargirl
and the rightful owner. Like what if Starman's out doing something stupid? All right. He sneaks out with the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, why are you sneaking out in the staff in civilian clothing? But still, he's just out doing something stupid. Do you think Courtney can like call the staff back from like a far distance?
I think so. I think it's been established they have a connection of some kind that we're not totally sure how it functions. But
if he uses the staff to kill, do you think that'll like tarnish it a little bit?
I would think it would definitely affect the staff. Yeah, 100%. Lord Genome with a Team Eric member chat says, whatever happened to Gary Gaman? He still comes in once in a while. He's usually here for like a split second, then he's gone. But I've seen him recently. I think actually I saw him last week. So he's still around. Also, we had Courtney sort of sympathizing with the gambler after reading the letter left for Becky. And it's really setting up a very strong season. I wish that it was that people were being more receptive to the show. It's not getting a lot of interaction online like last season. Last season was through the roof in terms of like people responding to it. What do you think the differences are? I mean, Paige, we talked about this briefly. Do you think it's just the time that the show is on the air? Do you think it's a storyline? What do you think it is that's just people are just not engaging as much with this season of Stargirl?
I think the fact that the promotion didn't help. Like they released one trailer and it was like a month before. So like that's going to obviously confuse people, or at least not notify people closer to the date of premiere. Also the fact that like season 1 and 2 both premiered like either the week after or soon after like Flash and those shows ending their seasons. While this year it was like 2.5 months or something after they ended.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I personally think they're probably going to wait until the fall premiere season, like October, but then they had 13 episodes to air, and they'd be airing into Christmas, past where other shows would take a mid-season break.
Yeah.
Like this season's taking weeks off. I think it has a week off after episode 5 or 6 or something. So, well, now you know. That's why they called him the newsman. And so I'm very curious to see why they chose to premiere now, and instead of maybe like 2 weeks from now, just not have any breaks, and then maybe just go a bit later into the year. But that's the thing. I think it's only excused if like Flash and Superman and Lois come out in January.
Okay.
If not, then they should just add 7 episodes, taking a mid-season break, and then done
Yeah,
6
that
at the
makes
beginning of next
sense.
year, and then Flash and Superman premiere after.
Okay.
Or even if Flash or Superman premiere at January, just that, another show premieres after that as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a combination of where they decided to chuck it. And like all the other shows that are out now alongside it are all like acquired shows.
Yeah. Someone said a
They're not-
source said Stargirl's fate will be decided by the end of the month. Well, I even said that last week because we're coming up on the next quarter.
Well, it wasn't a source. It was Amy Smart who plays Barbara. She said it. That's where the quote's coming from.
I think the way they've been talking about it, I am not optimistic about the chances of Stargirl going on for another season. I think it's in a bad spot because of everything.
The fact that they went out of their way to say that they wrap the show up. They give the show a somewhat ending while also not being a complete ending, and it opens the door for something afterwards.
Yeah,
makes me think they think it's going to be the last one, and it's really up to whatever the new CW leadership and board and stuff want to do.
Yeah.
The only thing that could save it is HBO Max.
And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we'll see that because I do like the show and I think the season is really good. I think a murder mystery is such a very cerebral, slow burn that in a already like bad time for the CW in terms of content, doing something that doesn't have like a weekly gratifying something happen on it is just not good for the show. So we'll see. In the chat, leave your scores. What would you give it 1 to 10? I would say that this week for me is definitely up there, probably between an 7.5, 8.5. It's still building. So it's not every week feels like we're just adding more to a murder mystery. Like you have to understand how murder mysteries function to understand why the show is doing what it's doing. So some people may not like murder mysteries. I don't know. Antonio here with the 1-9 super chat. Abomination being on Thunderbolts, not a thing. We're going to get to that. Actually, Thunderbolts is going to be the last topic of the stream because it's the very last thing in my notes. So, but any thoughts on this, guys, before we get there? I'll talk about it in more detail there, but any opinions? Upset that Abomination might not be on the Thunderbolts because of what happened at D23.
No,
are you a huge Abomination fan? That's really what it comes down to.
I'm an Abomination stan, Eric. You've heard me talk about Abomination a lot in detail with a lot of love.
Okay, all right, There we go. All right, Antonio here with an eye super chat. Can we talk about how they're flying effortlessly with the Flash? CGI doesn't make it sense. Like their external power makes floating easier. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this. Well, think about the first season. Courtney's been riding the staff like a surfboard. That doesn't even make sense. If you really want to be honest, like. The staff is like, try standing on a broom between 2 chairs and see how easy that is. Just, you have to understand it's a superhero show. It just, things aren't going to look 100% real. As far as the staff pulling them through the air, I think when you're talking about something like a hammer, like Thor's hammer, where you're holding it at the base and you're following it that way, that makes sense. A staff in your hand, like how would they portray it any other way? I don't know, unless you hold it with both hands and ride it like a witch. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's fine the way they do it. I don't have an issue with it. Plus, if you've ever seen the harnesses, how they make actors fly, there's really there's no way to make the staff pull the weight. It would have to be on the actors. So it's just not an option with network TV. What is this?
Wakanda forever, my brothers.
all right.
Oh, geez, that clip. When was that? That's like from 2015, isn't it? That's old. It's an old one.
I know you're the one that got it. You had it in the emails.
No, I did not get that. That is not mine. I would not pay for that. Jay Garrick's death. Can you explain to me? I don't understand. He was killed. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what else to say. I mean,
I'm on the impression that they think he was killed, and I think he was pulled into these shadowlands.
I've been saying for a very long time, and I will still stand by this, regardless of what John Wesley has said, because I respect him, think he's a great actor. I don't think it's the same Jay Garrick. I think it's a completely different Jay Garrick. It doesn't make any sense for it to be the same Jay Garrick, honestly. So And anybody want to talk about that or not? I mean, I feel like
It's like the to Eric and you, Eric. It's like that conversation again. So we'll never know who's the real one, who's the fake one. We might be talking to the fake one right now. The imposter.
could be
Among Us.
I mean, again, everybody can think what they want with this one. We don't really have any information one way or the other, but it just, to me, it doesn't seem to make any sense for it to be the same Jay Garrick anymore. It's sort of like the Superman and Lois thing. Like at one point, maybe it would have made sense for them to connect the Jay Garricks together, but at this point, it doesn't make sense for them to do that because the Flash is ending. And if Stargirl is going to continue on, there would be no reason to have the baggage of that Jay Garrick. That Jay Garrick being there is the equivalent of Diggle being on Superman and Lois.
Oh,
Just saying.
just
Um,
saying.
All right, so let's
just twerking.
now it's time to do like the speed run through all the news that came out this week.
Yes.
And today actually, which is why I delayed the stream because I wanted to make sure everything that I wanted to talk about had dropped. So we got the Black Adam trailer. It came out on Thursday. I'm not going to watch the trailer because and I'm not going to do that with anything from Disney as well. I've already seen people posting screenshots of like stuff getting flagged.
No.
But this shot here is a little bit worrisome to me. We talked about this a bit. Pagey, we got the trailer. We got to see a lot of the JSA. We got to see Sabak here in the trailer. Want to talk about wonky VFX. This is a movie. This is a film. There's a lot of money in this. It still feels like it's a little bit unfinished in some parts, right?
Yeah. To his credit, it still has a month and like a week to come out, and most movies aren't done until like literally the week leading up to coming out. So they still got a month to work on it. They'll get the reception. So I'm sure by the time the movie comes out, it'll be more polished.
And two things right here. I'm not complaining on this thinking that it's awful. Like I'm saying, oh God, this ruins it for me.
Yeah, it'd be a bad look after you defended She-Hulk for half an hour.
No. No. Honestly, I'm excited for this movie, mostly for the JSA. Because I think the JSA is really.
Oh, I thought you were looking forward to. There's going to be a rock bottom in this film.
Is there? You think so?
I think there will. Surely the Rock does it.
See you later, Amethyst.
Oh, I can. Oh my God. Can you imagine it?
I do not want to imagine. That was
no. Can you imagine just The Rock saying, "Can you smell? Can you smell?"
That is one of the criticisms I heard about the trailer is that people say they don't see Black Adam with the hood off. They just see The Rock. They're like, when the cape and the hood are on, you get the fantasy of Black Adam. But The Rock is such a recognizable star.
Well, I think it's also the fact that he doesn't even have like the pointed ears. Like,
no.
If people are going on about him having like that hair, the hair would look stupid.
Yeah,
like, let's be honest. But just have the pointed ears. Like, surely the ears wouldn't be too much of an issue. But he doesn't have them, and you could do that in VFX as well. Like in after, you don't have to do it on set.
I'm sorry, Amethyst. I honestly did not see it. Do you guys remember what super chat it was that she had asked? Did anybody see it when it came by?
Wasn't it the one about Tinder? I thought you read it out.
I thought I did too. Well, I did read that out.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. I think you might have skipped. I don't. It was like only like a 15-second portion. So if you weren't paying attention,
well, thank you, Amethyst. I appreciate it. I'm sorry if I did miss your super chat.
No, I think you got it.
I hope I did.
Yeah, it was the Tinder one or the dating app one. Yeah. Dab on the haters, yeah.
Silent Angel here with the $5 super chat. Is it just me or when I see the green stuff from the shade, I got PTSD from the time sickness? I made that joke in my review too. I was like, yeah, it looks like
quote unquote joke.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people laughed, Eric.
It's a new theory. It was hilarious. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, yeah. There was some people laughing. I think Heels vs. Babyface or something,
yeah. We have a super chat here from Lone Wolf, $5 super chat. That you guys give constructive criticism and not just bash a show with hate vids. I mean, I would not do that, honestly.
Well, Eric did that with Legends for like 2 weeks and then stopped. But...
Well, I did exactly what I just said. After I realized it wasn't going to change, I'm like, I'm not going to keep doing this. So, yeah, I'll always go back to Legends. Legends is a perfect example. Thank you for the super chat and the Team Eric membership, Lone Wolf. I appreciate it. Thomas here goes, is the Stargirl crossover true? I don't like the idea of it crossing over with Titans and New Patrol. I don't know if it's true or not. A little update on that is that the person that so 2 things. The account that posted it was a burner account.
Yeah.
I did a little detective work and I found that person's real account was almost exactly the same as the burner account, with just a few things changed. But they were tweeting and posting the same stuff. So I did a little bit of digging. I reached out to the casting department, the person on Instagram, the owner of the company, and the head of the department themselves to confirm or deny whether or not this was real, because there was an image floating around, which I'm not going to show it here, but there's an image floating around with the name of the casting company on the image, which why you would do that, I don't know.
I can actually answer that because I talked to the
okay, well,
guy
give us
on
a
the
little
burner
dirt. Give us a
account.
little dirt then.
The dirt I have is I asked him personally, and since he deleted the account, I should have screenshotted the messages beforehand, but I didn't know he would just go and delete that whole account because, well, he's had it on there for a while. So when I asked him, I asked him straight, I said, are you like not worried about getting fired? Because you're leaking all this information and you're telling people not to, you know, share around this photo and stuff of that nature. And the guy says, why would I care about that? I don't actually work at the company.
Right.
I work in the industry, just on a different level. I said, well, then how do you have this information? He says it's very common knowledge that this was happening. I said, one, no, it wasn't. Two, nobody knows when the shows are airing. So how are they even? WB doesn't even know when they're
How
airing.
is that common knowledge?
So
That's my question.
how are you just gonna assume that we knew that? You have people assuming that Breck is on a set right now, filming for a certain crossover, and well, she's filming for a film, like she's doing a whole movie. You're saying she's gonna be out there this coming week on the 17th, and when that doesn't happen, that's gonna bounce back on you. He says, well, I mean, I really don't care. I posted it because I figured nobody would believe me anyway.
But we've determined that's a lie because they did actually care. I mean,
yeah. So I'm like, I said, dude, that makes zero sense. He says, I mean, people can believe what they want to believe. He says, I posted the information because I thought people would want to know. I'm like, okay, so you're leaking dates, but you don't want us to post the photo. Something doesn't add up, dude.
No, well, that's the issue, is that you never. They made the big error. You never post your physical proof. You never post your physical proof, because the issue they had is that they shared it, and all of a sudden it's 1,000 people had it. Yeah, they shared it to like a handful of people, and then like 1,000 people had it within a couple of hours in the day. Yeah. So they made that mistake, and there's information on there. You know, you could contact people and stuff. I know it doesn't matter to like literally the entire chat, but if you ever get into that situation with a source, you never show the physical source that says something. But you just say, hey, I got this information. This is happening. This is happening. Or something.
And if they don't believe you, they don't believe you. That's the life of being a scooper. Is you if they don't believe you, they don't believe you.
Well, that's you know who the most well-known person who got screwed over with it, and they shat themselves.
John Campia.
Nothing really happened. Yeah, John Campia. He posted the photos from No Way Home. Is that the movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he shat himself because they ended up being real. He knew they were real.
He spent months trying to say they weren't real, but
yeah, he knew they were real, but he was saying, hey, I got this across the thing. Yeah. You know, and like he shat himself because he thought he was going to get in trouble. Nothing really happened because it probably added to the promotion for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was any other thing, like that was for like Infinity War or something like that, or Endgame or something, he probably would have been like in a lot of trouble.
Yep. And the guy
says, physical source.
The guy says, I don't care if they share it around. By the time the stuff, by the time the photo gets around or gets around to some higher ups, the information will be out already. I'm like, that's not true.
And like, no, it also doesn't matter.
Exactly. I'm like, you can still get in trouble. And honestly, if it was true, I mean, you got people, because Breck shared one of the tweets and like joked around with it, talking about some fudge that stuff or whatever, talking about how she would fit in. You have people theorizing all of this, and from the sounds of it, like from how it sounds like they're just literally glorified cameos.
Yeah.
So people trying to tell me like, oh yeah, that means Brett confirmed it, or she was just joking around with you guys. Because honestly, it is funny to think about Courtney just showing up on Titans when they're going to be cussing up a storm, and she's going to be sitting there all sunshine and rainbows.
Did John Campea poo his pants on stream?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Someone saying he got a YouTube strike for shitting his pants.
Oh, that was Keita. I have no idea. I don't watch John Campea, so I don't know.
That's
Me
one.
either.
That's one hell of a way to get a strike.
So, but the thing is, we're gonna wrap this up because I want to get back to the Black Adam trailer. They deleted the burner account and then they put their regular account private for like a day.
Yep.
Then they made it public again. They made it private again, but they changed all their information on it. So the only
Somebody's
response
lying.
I got back from the casting company, because I contacted 2 people, the only response I got back was from the man who runs the office, not the actual owner, but the guy who runs the office. And he says he was looking into it. And that was it. And I never heard anything back from them after that. So I'm going to assume that they got in trouble.
Did you?
Well,
did
Malik
you contact
believes
him?
everything, so Malik believes it's happening. So I mean, hey, I mean, if it happens, it happens.
I'm inclined to believe them just because they had something physical. My issue is that they were silly enough to share it.
And that they deleted the account after all this stuff happened makes it seem like they
Yeah.
were being legit.
Doesn't mean it's confirmed. It's that I would be inclined.
Because think about it, if it was fake and they wanted
it's
the
also-
clout, why would they delete their account?
And it's also very important to remember that Breck literally said in an interview that they're trying to make a crossover thing happen, and it's all about scheduling. And she was currently filming something, so that was the scheduling issue,
Yeah.
most likely. So there's things that I think to deny it's happening is going against what evidence that's there. But that
I
doesn't
mean,
mean
I'm
it's
not
100%
I'm not
happening.
denying it's happening. I'm saying he's making it
Well,
seem
I
like
think-
more than what it is, and he's
Well,
getting
to be honest,
right.
to be honest, Lance, I think it's because you would probably take an Eric-sized L because you were just replying to everyone saying it's not happening.
Was I Pagey?
Yes, you were.
Do you have proof of said stuff?
Oh.
No, I don't show my physical sources. L, win.
Oh,
What a
there we go.
W.
There we go.
L for Lance. L Lance.
All right. So getting back to the Black Adam trailer, because there's a lot to talk about here.
Is there?
Yes, there is. Well, there's a lot of.
Okay.
They've got some screenshots here. This is
I
the
heard
article. with
Pagey is
Windows
playing
Pro.
Sabak. Is that true?
I mean, it could be because that CGI is unfinished.
Well, no, isn't he meant to be like an Egyptian, like Arab sort of character? I don't think I'd probably get cancelled for that. Not the right casting. But then again,
So-
The Rock's playing Black Adam, so fuck
Yeah.
me, Dad. So
So
whatever.
here's the Rock, and as you can see, I said the Rock. Here's Black Adam, not the Rock.
Dwayne. Wait,
and
on the
this is-
posters, does it say The Rock or Dwayne?
Oh, I don't even know for sure.
I'll have to look that
Um,
up. I'm actually curious.
I
Black-
don't mind the suit. I think the suit is fine, but I like it much better with the cape and the hood, personally. But I feel like they're purposely leaving that off because
Oh,
they're
no, it
trying
says-
to mark it off of.
It says Dwayne Johnson.
Does it?
Doesn't say The Rock.
What are your thoughts on the suit? We've seen it a lot now, and it's obviously the VFX for the suit is mostly done.
I'm not the
What-
biggest
what
fan
do
of like the charred out middle. I wish it was like a bit more yellow, but I guess it's battle worn. So
Is it battle worn, or is that just how he created it to look?
no, because it's two different suits at one of the conventions they had one. So I guess there's one from when he first got his powers, and then this is like the modern day one after he's been in a couple of battles.
So
It would have did the ears.
I have a couple issues with the way the trailer portrayed what was happening because Sabak is the villain. We know that's going to be the main villain of the movie.
Yeah, but the whole thing. I think I see what you're getting at. When does he actually come in? Because it's making it seem like the whole conflict from like the jump is going to be between the JSA and Black Adam. That's what the trailers are. making
Right,
it
but the
look like.
problem is we know that conflict is going to be resolved. We already
Yeah.
know that. So we're going to sit through like an hour and 30 minutes of the movie of them play fighting until they finally decide they're going to work together. It doesn't
That's what it seems.
know what I'm
like. I
saying?
get-
Like-
yeah, I get it. I
like
completely
I'm
get
not saying that's bad. I'm obviously going to go into the movie and hope that they do something a little different with that. But if that's what the story is going to be, I feel like that's not a very compelling story because we know that Black Adam is a quote unquote anti-hero or sort of in a gray area. I don't know if I am going to appreciate that part of the story instead of him just being like I'd rather them wrap that up in the first 15 minutes, but then if you do that, then is that taking away from all of the JSA stuff? You know, is the very first scene going to be them fighting Black Adam and then realizing Sabak is the villain and then spending the rest of the movie basically trying to work together to stop Sabak? Like, I don't know what direction they're going to go. I hope it's the second one. I honestly hope that we don't spend like an hour and a half of the movie with this fight between Black Adam and the JSA. I hope that they maybe wrap it up in the first act.
I think it's going to be first act Origin, second act Black Adam versus JSA, third act JSA and Black Adam versus Sabak.
So you think that's how they're going to break it up? It'll be like...
I'd be very surprised if that's not the way they do it.
Okay. So, and Pagey, how do you want them to spend a lot of time on that second act with it, or do you want them to kind of just...
I think there needs to be a reasoning why Black Adam is a threat, but then also why the JSA might somewhat sympathize with him as well, if that's there. But my issue is that Black Adam he's got to be treated as a villain before they can. Hopefully, by the end of the movie, then like he isn't just an anti-hero. Hopefully, he does something. Like I wouldn't mind it. Like in order to kill Sabak, he just kills a bunch of people. It sounds brutal, but like at least it makes him out to be someone that can't be seen as a hero, if not even bordering on it. He was just evil versus evil when it came to him versus Sabak. So, yeah, I don't want the movie ending with him being an anti-hero.
Okay. My
So I
second
think
question...
there has to be a longer journey to that if they want to do that.
My second question is for the chat, and then you guys can kind of chime in on it. Do you expect Henry Cavill to show up? And the second part of that question is, are you one of the people where if he isn't in the movie, it's automatically going to be bad for you, even though he's literally not been teased in any of the advertising?
Well, apparently Superman's in it, but he's headless. That's the talk about it. So I guess it's like, Henry, can we use your head? Thank you, Symbiote. I know that. I said that.
He said that like 12 times already. That
I'm talking about the journey. He was a villain for a long time before he was an anti-hero. And you have to have that journey. You can't just make him an anti-hero in the first thing.
Yeah. And from the fact that he just like, soon as he awakens, that he just, kills all those soldiers without thinking twice. It seems
it feels like that second act is the villain. Like, it's him versus the JSA, and then all of a sudden it's team up time, Jack on Sabak, and anti-hero after that. And that wouldn't be the best way to go about it.
Are we going to have a group review of the film?
Yeah, I always do that for movies.
Okay, cool. Because I want to, I really want to pick Pagey's brain when this film comes out.
Well, the one thing I'm excited about is Pagey's favorite superhero team is the JSA, so he's going to be very critical of the JSA, I think.
Yeah.
Who said Blue Beetle was canceled? What?
Don't even. Yeah, no, don't even put that out there. Don't read it out. Can
we take that down? Jesus.
So you've already said it now, so
it's not true.
So this is, I think, going to be the GOAT of the movie, depending on how they play this out. I like the way Dr. Fate looks.
The eyes.
Yeah, that's a weird design choice. I agree. But I think outside of the eyes,
the suit is really cool. Amazing. Yes.
People have said, I've heard a rumor that like some of the early viewings, I think they did they do an early viewing this week or something?
It was a test screening. It was not a test screening.
That the eyes show up when spells are being cast. Like you can see the eyes on the helmet. They're just not there any other time. So, Dr. Fate's going to be dope. We saw the scene with him like protecting Black Adam, which is, I mean, why would he have to protect Black Adam? I don't know. Or hold him back, I guess. But I do like the design of it. I think it's a really cool looking character. Do you think there's a lot of pressure on Dr. Fate being in this live action movie coming in? Because I think he's probably the biggest name of the characters that are in the JSA, right? I mean, next to Hawkman.
No, more people know who Hawkman is.
You don't think that more people are excited about Dr. Fate?
I think more people will be more excited for Dr. Fate just because Hawkman is Hawkman. He flies and everything like that. But Dr. Fate has all the mystical powers and stuff like that. So more people would know Hawkman, but Dr. Fate has the ability to come out of it being people's favorite from the movie.
There's a rumor that apparently Dr. Fate's going to die in the movie, but I don't know about that one. I mean,
does it bother you that? Well, I get it. I know why they're doing it, but we know how the source material treats Nobu in the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a problem with him basically being like how Tom Holland pulls his mask off every 5 minutes? I've seen.
You mean
more
like in this shot right here where he's sitting
I
here with the
see
mask
more of
off?
Pierce Brosnan's face
Yeah.
than I do Dr. Fate, and it's like, is Kent Nelson in complete control the entire time? Are they changing the mythology? Because I mean, they did that for Hawkman. They got rid of the whole reincarnation thing.
Well, they didn't say they got rid of it. They said they weren't going to
It's just-
address it in the first
It's not going to be
movie.
addressed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible they could. It is possible, but I got the impression they just weren't going to cover it in the first movie.
I don't know why
But I mean-
people can't handle that.
But to be honest, if you're not going to take the mask off, I mean, you probably wouldn't get Pierce Brosnan.
A lot of people said that he looks like an old Doctor Strange, and I was like, I mean, I guess.
I think he's just British.
Not only that, but Doctor Strange isn't necessarily that young either, so
Yeah.
don't know about that one. We have Atom Smasher. I actually think this looks really cool. The scenes with him looked really, really neat. Do you think Sabak will be able to change size? Do you think he's gonna have to fight Atom Smasher?
He has to. He looks so small facing up. At least it was just the perspective of it, but
yeah,
he just looked normal sized going towards Hawkman. I was like, hold on.
Now, Atom
Seems
Smasher
like
and
a big-
Cyclone are two characters that I think have the opportunity to become fan favorites because they don't have as much of like a pop culture footprint. I don't think so. Looking forward to that. And then we have Cyclone. What do you think of the power? I thought that her powers looked really cool in the trailer, the way they showed them.
Yeah, the powers look cool.
You sound like you're not sold on the character.
Well, it's just that like I don't like Cyclone to me just isn't that big of a like. Well, that's because the character was meant to be Stargirl in the movie, so
right.
that's always like I guess she was never meant to be there in the first place. But yeah, you have to wait and see what it's like and how, because obviously going to change to make it look much more effective and cooler on screen. So the scene where she does this right now, it's like all like the scaffolding poles and stuff like that when she chucks them. That was probably one of the better VFX scenes in the in the trailer. It looked really good. I like the whole like lagging, like I know what you would call it, like with her like the cloak that she wears, and yeah, it looks cool.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
For Pagey or Eric, whoever knows more. I'm not a big Sabak. I don't know a lot about him. Is he like a Trigon-esque?
He's a typical demon type character. I don't think there's anything specific. He's the antithesis to like what Shazam is, like how they get all of their powers from gods. He gets all of his powers from demons. I believe that's the way he's been portrayed in the comics. Like he pulls powers from different demons instead of gods. Is that right, Pagey? Is that how his powers work? Yes, no. Do you not know?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
I believe that he is the antithesis to Shazam or Captain Marvel and Black Adam, because they
you know what I'm
powers
saying
from
here with
different
this,
gods, so.
like this perspective here is either the same height, smaller, or 10 feet taller. I can't tell from the shot.
Yeah,
how big
it's-
Sabak is.
This is not a good shot. Okay, I think Hawkman looks really good in this shot.
Well,
but
this is one of my
Sabak
favorite
does
parts of the
not.
trailer when the nth metal changes from the mace to the axe.
Yeah, I like that, and I like the way the nth metal. Like honestly, like Eric, you saw my post. It may make me sound like an idiot, but honestly, I was not that hyped for Black Adam until I found out that we were getting a different take on Hawkman.
Right.
Because I'm a fan of the Hawks, and I don't feel like they have ever been done justice.
This Hawkman looks,
except for Smallville.
This Hawkman looks amazing. Aldis looks really good, and I can't wait to see, because if you've ever seen that man, he is literally like even when he was on Leverage, like he is like a gym guy. So he's got the physique to pull it off like no problem whatsoever.
Like I'm really excited, and yes, Grace Randolph did say that he was a ripoff T'Challa.
Did she say that?
Yes.
How?
Did she give any context to that statement, or just...
wait? Is it because he's black?
I think she might be saying because nth metal and vibranium.
Yeah, they were saying that she went on an entire rant on how they should have just made him Mr. Terrific,
No.
but they decided to make him Hawk. I'm like, are
Let me
you
just-
saying that Hawkman can't be black? Because
Maybe.
well, Egyptians are, historically darker skinned people. So why does this bother you?
So I will say this: Hawkman is a character that has never really been given a good, just like Aquaman.
Well,
he's never been given this kind of a treatment. So I'm excited to see what they do with him here.
Yeah, it's redundant because, as I said before, The Rock is playing Black Adam. Like if he's meant to be Egyptian, okay, it's not that accurate because he's black. Egyptians weren't black. So, but it's the same thing with fucking The Rock. I know it's meant to be Kandak as well, but it's meant to be sort of based off the Egyptian stuff, like influenced by it as well. But it's The Rock being Black Adam erases all of that. He's on screen for most of the movie.
Yeah.
So if you're going to complain about Aldous Hodge being Hawkman, if he is Egyptian, if that's where it's based from it, then why you not doing the same for The Rock, who's half Pacific Islander?
Exactly, Omega. Like I knew that comment was coming.
It's woke.
And it'd only be because Aldous Hodge is darker. Like that'd be literally the reason that they, what do you call it?
Yeah,
narrowing in on.
I
Aldous.
loved Hawk Girl from the Justice League animated series. She was one of my favorite characters in that series. So I agree with you.
It was around Eric Sam. Not too sure.
What is this right here?
That was my dinner last night.
Oh.
Dude, two corns a cob. Oh,
yeah, I know. I got because my sister keeps sending me those freaking corn videos from TikTok, and I said I got corn in the fridge. I'm gonna have for dinner, and I had two, and she went, "Wow, 2 corn on the cobs." I'm like, "Yeah, it's mate."
Looks like if you look at it, like Barry Allen is really like he's staring.
He's
right
looking right at that bottom corn on the, and that was probably the tastier one because I put I put them in the pan to get like the steak juices on top of the corn and everything like that. And you can see some of the steak juice just there on the above the peas to the right there. Oh, it was a good dinner. It's a good dinner. Filling. Anyway, that was my meal.
All right, so now we are in the lightning round. We're going to go through all of the stories from D23 from Marvel. I do want to point out I did see the Mandalorian trailer, and it looks really good, but I don't think it showed me enough. Like it's just kind of a hype trailer. But I think it was good. Let's go through here and talk briefly. I'm just going to, like I said, it's like a lightning round. Rogers the Musical was performed at D23, the one from Hawkeye. Yeah. Anybody jealous they didn't get to see that live?
I am. It's just something about seeing Steve Rogers jumping around in a leotard.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you might get flagged for that. I think that song is copywritten.
Is it? Okay. Well, I won't sing any more of it. Let's see what happens. That was pretty funny. They did give some updates for Wakanda Forever, and this was after the musical. That Ryan Coogler said they're working on the final stages of production for the film. He said that the film is said to find the rest of the world attempting to capitalize on Wakanda's resources when they are at their weakest, and I'm assuming that's because that's after T'Challa has died. Kevin Feige says this is the biggest thing Marvel Studios has ever done, which I think is like, how does it get bigger than like Infinity War and Endgame? Yeah.
I think it might be in regards to the risk of it. You know what I mean? Because of how much what do you call it? Divide there is in regards to where they should have recast T'Challa or what they're doing now. So that's probably maybe what he's talking about. Because in regards to scope, unless he's talking about because the rumors of Doctor Doom coming in this movie and then introducing Namor and that whole world.
It might be because there's so much stuff is being set up in this film. That might be what he means by that.
So it's like a make or break movie. Like if certain things don't work, then it has like a trickle on effect with certain arcs.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm thinking, Lord Genome, is that it's going to be the story is going to be the biggest story they've ever done.
Hey, did you guys see that fake photo going around? About
which fake photo?
Is this the one with Eric's nipples?
No, although I've seen that photo, they added a lot of hair.
Well, that's not fake; it's real.
Well, they Robert Blake, he's rumored to be in this, but somebody was sharing a photo this morning, mind you. This is before they posted the times for the Disney panel, for the Marvel panel, and it was of the Fantastic Forecast.
Oh, no. There's
John-
a lot of fake Fantastic Four photos.
it was
though. I'm not
it was
surprised.
literally just a ripoff of the 2015 films. Like John Krasinski was Mr. Fantastic. The rumored casting for Sue Storm, that was the girl, I forget her name. But I'm like, wow, that's a huge age gap. John Boyega was Johnny Storm, and Seth Rogen was the Thing, and Henry Cavill is Doctor Doom. And the dude,
It's clobbering time.
like the dude literally came at me. He said, "How can you tell me this is fake?" Because they just posted the times for when the panels are gonna happen, and it's 1 p.m. my time, and currently it's 8 a.m. and you're sharing this and claiming it's as I'm like, you're spreading misinformation. He's like, "This isn't politics. How is this misinformation?" I'm like, whatever, you idiot.
So then we also had Winston Duke telling the crowd he's excited for everyone to see Wakanda after the Endgame era. He said it's like nothing you've seen before, and everything's bigger and new, talking about the tech. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more like just unbelievable tech.
Apparently there's a huge, they showed part of a fight scene between M'Baku and Namor. So get to see those two just duking it out in the water, just water splashing everywhere.
I hate to say this, as much as I like M'Baku without any powers, Namor would really just like it would be a quick fight. Just put it that way.
I mean, M'Baku is like freakishly strong though.
He is, but Namor can fight like the Hulk.
That's
and
true.
I don't think M'Baku could do that. So
M'Baku's just gonna use that big stick and like.
Naruto says that someone streamed the play online. Seriously?
Yeah, they were being weird.
Wow, how did they get away with that? That's
I'm sure it got flagged and taken down already.
We also got Anthony Ramos is going to play Parker Robbins, aka the Hood in the MCU, making his debut in Ironheart. They're saying he's going to be a little bit of a good guy and a bad guy, taking other misfits in the show where we're going to end up on top. So he's basically like a tech magic person. He's like a mini Doctor Doom character. I mean, when I say mini, like Doctor Doom's got a huge history. And this character is not quite as or not even close to as popular as Doctor Doom is, but he's like a magic / tech user. So we'll see that. Paul Rudd said Ant-Man and Quantumania is bananas. He said it's unlike anything you've seen from the franchise thus far, and he means the Ant-Man franchise. Paul Rudd described it being bananas, helping to push the film into new places as the arrival of Kang, who Rudd teases as throws the whole thing into such a new territory. And we know MODOK is supposed to be in this movie, and Kang is going to be there because we saw the leaked trailer where Ant-Man is talking to Kang. So let me ask you a question, because Ant-Man has been a weird franchise for Marvel. Are you fans of that particular series of movies, or are they just like whatever? Like, because I think Ant-Man's pretty good, but I like it because it is like that funny / superhero type thing.
Yeah, I honestly I love the Ant-Man films, and I'm looking forward to the third one. It takes you out of the super seriousness of some films, but it doesn't take it too goofy. And I just like the Paul Rudd casting.
Okay.
I heard Pagey wanted to be Ant-Man at one point.
The Ant-Man movies, I like the first one. I'm not the biggest fan of the second one. I think Ben put in like his top 5 movies of the year that year.
The second one or the first one?
The second one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They're okay. They're just extremely forgettable.
Randall Park is confirmed for Ant-Man 3, so we're going to get Jimmy Woo back. And then we got what I think is probably, and I'm going to be honest, the most interesting thing that I think I've seen from Marvel in a really long time. And it was this just random trailer. I'm not gonna show the trailer, but Werewolf by Night was weird. Did you see the trailer?
It was weird, but I like stuff like this. Like
I love it too. I was like, this looks so good to me.
I'm intrigued. Like, and it comes out next month.
Yeah, it's a movie, but it's a movie, but it's a special. It's for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But it looks so interesting. It's black and white, which I thought was like, what a concept, like for a whole film. Like, it's definitely going to be weird. And there's actually a screenshot in the trailer of Man-Thing in the movie. Like, somebody got a screenshot of Man-Thing actually looking, in there or whatever. Like, this is one of those things like She-Hulk where I think if you don't like this kind of stuff, you're probably not going to be excited for this. But I loved this trailer. It's probably one of the things that's gotten me the most interested in Marvel stuff in the last year or so, because it doesn't look like anything else. It's so different, even more so than She-Hulk. I think this is more different than anything we've had from Marvel in terms of the way it looks. I'm really excited for this one, and the trailer is really good, and it looks like it's going to be like an adult themed movie or special. Elsa Bloodstone, it's going to be pretty wild. What did you see the trailer for this, Pagey? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I saw it. I think it just looks like goofy Halloween fun. I think it's, once again, nothing you take too serious. It's gonna be an homage to like those classic horror movies, those Universal monster movies and stuff from the.
Is it going to be weird if Marvel outdoes because the Universal monster movies, the more recent ones, have not done really well. It's going to be really weird if Marvel does this and it actually ends up being really good.
But you got to remember those Universal ones weren't trying to be like the old ones. They were trying to be like hip and new and edgy and Eric and all that type of stuff.
Eric.
While Marvel's like tapping into that classic, over the top sort of, nostalgic, goofy sort of stuff, including the whole black and white thing.
Yeah. Wu post Westville should be interesting. I agree with that. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be really good. I mean, it could be awful, but I'm thinking it's going to be really good.
It's either going to be fun and it's going to be a lot of fun, and you can probably rewatch it every Halloween, or it's just like too much and it's just not very good. And you just over the top. But I think they probably know what they're doing. Is just be silly but not stupid. That's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm. So we also got the trailer for Secret Invasion, which looks to be following, obviously, Nick Fury around. And
I thought that show was going to be different, but it just seems like it's going to be like an espionage spy.
Yeah.
Series.
Very that.
Honestly, I'm okay with that, because this trailer it reached out and grabbed me. Like, it's just something about it that it has my attention. It's different. And this is a Disney Plus show, right?
Yeah.
It's different. It's like they're trying to steer away from the norm of, we had something all new and different with WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Falcon and the Winter Soldier still had the superhero element. The Moon Knight, Miss Marvel was for young adults, kids. She-Hulk is a comedy. This is going back to
hold on, quote unquote comedy.
Okay. I'm sorry, Pagey. I'll take the L on it. I'm sorry. Dang it, I just lost my train of thought, Pagey.
You're talking about this takes it back to like the OG.
It takes it back to like the OG Captain America vibes. Because not even that. Captain Carter, possibly. Even back, we're getting just like a old like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing, just dialed all the way up to
this
like
feels
100.
to me a lot like the Captain America movies and like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, it's giving me that same like energy with it on the trailer. I will say though, this is another one of those times where I've heard people talk about it being too weird, like they didn't like, but between this and Werewolf by Night. And I'm like, okay, so do you want the Marvel formula or do you want them to do other stuff? Like, I don't understand you can't have both of those things if you don't want either one of them. Like, it's like people are like, oh, I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. And then when Marvel does a bunch of different stuff, they're like, oh, I don't like this either. So it's a lot of like, you can't win with some people. You just can't.
It just depends what the show is, because looking at it, I was like, okay, well, this wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's more like heavily grounded. Like, you don't really see too much of the Skrull stuff going on. Obviously, you're going to hide that. You're not going to just throw it at people's faces in a trailer like that. But it's one of those things where I'm like, is this just going to be another build up?
Right.
Because that's the only thing that's disappointing with a lot of the Marvel shows. It just feels like it's build up.
Well, Pagey, you're going to be disappointed because apparently it was said that this is going to lead directly into Armor Wars, which means...
Well, I'm fine. Well, that's another series, and I'm fine with that if it leads into it. But I'm like, is it its own thing, or is it literally going to be labeled as, oh, this is the build up to this? Yeah. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
From what from what I saw in the trailer, it feels like it's going to be its own thing. That's what it feels like to me. Because Armor Wars is going to be dealing with people that have stolen or have Iron Man suits and are basically using them to do things. So like commit crimes and stuff like that.
Do you think that Riri is going to be in Armor Wars?
Was she not announced? I know Don Cheadle is, but
She probably is, but it's like you're not going to announce someone that's in like one episode,
right?
So she might be in one episode, so you're not going to announce people that are going to be in multiple episodes.
Maybe closer when it gets to like the release date for it, we might see something. Lone with a $5 super chat. If they do recast Reed with Paige Bagley, do you think we could work, or would you hate
Penn
this cast?
Badgley?
And is it really a recast? Because I don't consider that a recast because we haven't had a
To the general-
616.
To the general public, it's a recast.
Yeah, but from the multiverse standpoint, it's not. It's just
It's
another
not just a
version.
different version. Yeah.
It's like a recast to me was like an Iron Man with Rhodey. That was a recast.
Or
The Hulk
Buffalo
was a
over-
recast.
yeah.
Yeah. This would just be another version. But you're right. The general public would see it as that. I don't know enough about. So was he on that show? Was that the show that he was in? Is that the actor?
Yeah.
That everybody, so I never watched that
XOXO,
show,
Gossip
so I don't
Girl.
really have a point of reference on how good or bad he is. So for me, it's just like I mean, I guess maybe did you guys watch it? Do you know anything about the guy?
I only know him from Gossip Girl because my girlfriend when I was in like year 11 watched that show.
Hmm.
Oh, Paige, your girlfriend flex? Oh.
No, I was year 11. God, that ended terribly.
Oh.
That was a while ago.
Wow.
Okay, so we had that. Then we found-
XO Gossip Girl. Actually, Eric, can we
Yeah.
get that at the end of your videos?
what is that?
XOXO DJ Eric.
Oh no, we cannot get that. Not at all.
I think it'd be a good like outgoing thing for your videos.
So I actually had a tagline years ago when I used to do the For the Win.
Jesus.
Videos. So those were like.
I thought that was your out things like for the win. Goodbye.
No. So back around 2009, 2010, I did a weekly show on Mondays called For the Win. And the
Ooh.
premise of the show was win or fail. We'd talk about a TV show or a movie, and I would say, do you think it's win or fail? That was the tagline. It used to get like 500 viewers or something back then, because this was on a website when like there was a lot of like fish in the pond, and everybody just kind of, you know what I mean? Like it was a smaller website where everybody got more views because there wasn't a lot of people. There was just a lot of viewers. But it was For the Win was like win or fail, and we talk about TV shows and movies, and that was the tagline was, for the win, like at the end of it, or it was kind of.
Thank God I didn't watch that series. I think I
Yeah.
might have stopped watching YouTube in general. Someone said that if Penn on you, he would be seen better play. That's probably a good advocacy as to why he should be playing Reed Richards then.
Reed Richards has got that. He's got an attitude like he could almost be a villain.
He could be a villain. Like if he just had like.
So oddly enough, most people don't realize that the Council of Reeds, over half of them were very egotistical, self-centered people who were perceived as bad people. Like they were not considered like quote unquote heroes.
What about the Council of Wells?
So we really have to talk about that. We talked a little bit about Loki season 2. It will find Loki back at the TVA, but his former partner Mobius will not know who he is. So, I mean, we got the impression of that at the end of season 1. So, don't think that's a huge thing. The only thing we got about Fantastic Four, other than Lance's mention of the fake picture that's going around, was that Matt Shackman is going to be directing it, but that's it, nothing else. But we have to remember that's an entire phase away. That's the thing. That's not.
Yeah, you say it
phase,
as a
phase
but really
after that.
But really, it's 2 years or something like
Yeah.
that. It's
So
it's not that long ago.
They
That's the
want to
other
save
phases.
that for the next D23, I believe, or maybe Comic-Con.
Well, they only do it every 2 years, don't they?
Do
They're
they?
doing it every year now. Well, it used to be only every 2 years.
He said there would be
unless they-
another D23 before the movie. So
Well, yeah, probably the D23 leading up to it.
yeah,
Like, so come out like what 6 months after the next one or something.
probably.
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio was confirmed for Echo. I don't think that was a big.
I mean,
surprise
we
for
already,
me.
yeah.
Like I was like, okay, whatever.
I forgot that show was happening.
Daredevil Born Again filming updates. Charlie Cox returned to Daredevil. Marvel confirmed the filming of the new series will begin in 2023. No specific filming range has been confirmed, but Cox did seem to confirm that it would consist of 18 episodes. And he said something along the lines of, I don't know the exact quote, but that it was going to be a serious show. There is going to be some humor in it, but it's going to be consistent in tone with the other series. So I'm wondering if that means it's a continuation of it, or is it just going to be similar because they want this variant to be like the one that we knew before. I'm trying to figure out.
Who knows, DJ Eric?
Yeah, not sure. Then we got the Captain America New World Order. They showed the logo for that, and
Illuminati.
They announced that Anthony Mackie is going to be Sam Wilson, Captain America. Danny Ramirez is going to be Joaquin Torres, Falcon.
How lucky that Danny Ramirez.
Yeah.
He's a Top Gun and everything.
That's true. Tim Blake Nelson is going to be the leader, which makes me think now the leader's not going to be on She-Hulk.
Didn't we just talk about that on Monday?
We did.
It's crazy how this just happened.
Yeah. Carl Lumley is returning as Isaiah Bradley, and Shira Haas, who will make her MCU debut as the Israeli superhero Sabra. Now, I don't know much about Sabra. I'm guessing that's a newer character.
She's a mutant with the power to heal people.
So, I mean, but how recent is she in the...
No clue.
Okay. So I don't really know a lot about her, but I'm going to have to do a deep dive and find out more about her, which is probably why they make announcements like that.
It's an Israeli superhero.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We should probably get canceled by Twitter, so...
Maybe. Okay. And then we got the Thunderbolts. I guess let me go ahead and I'll pull the picture up here.
Thunderbolts, man.
There's a Thunderbolt shot of them, like the whole team together.
What a coincidence. We're talking about the Thunderbolts, and you were acting like a Thunderbird before.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
Well, you actually look like a bit of a Thunderbird as well, with all the blue.
So Naruto here with the $2 super chat. Think Power Broker Sharon will be on Armor Wars. I mean, she could show up at any of the Shield related, like...
Where was she at the end of whatever that show was?
She was just gone. She disappeared. She just
disappeared?
Yeah. She left after helping out, and then she was just gone, I believe. I don't think...
You think she'd show up in Secret Invasion, if anything?
It's possible. Yeah.
Especially with Nick Fury and all that.
Yeah. Staggervorth 49 super chat. I have a feeling that when Fantastic Four heroes are cast, that may be a group of millennials. I mean, I would be shocked if they went for like an older Fantastic Four. That would shock me, unless they come from another universe. That would be the
what's your dream Fantastic Four lineup? Do you have any theories of
lineup? I'm not big on fan casting. I don't really think about it.
I hate fan castings. They make me want to punch my head.
I would say this, that I kind of want them to shake it up a little bit. Like I'd like to see Reed Richards' personality stay similar to what it is in the comics. I think that's very interesting, but I wouldn't mind if they change up the personalities of some of the other characters and make them a little bit different. Because I'll be honest, Johnny Storm being like this playboy type character, I don't really need him to be that way.
I think you have to modernize, because he seems like, especially like,
he's kind of a dick. So
yeah, I think you have to. How would you modernize him? Like an A-boy? I don't know, something like that.
I think he would be an influencer. I think we'd see him more as like somebody on Instagram.
That would make sense, and he would try to like profit off being.
Yeah, totally. Like a Booster Gold type situation,
or like Superboy on Earth 2 and stuff like.
Absolutely. That would be that's a perfect example. The Bizarro Superboy, Jonathan L.
Yeah. Okay. What would you? TikTok? Oh God. Just TikTok dancing while flame on.
Pretty much.
I can imagine it.
Pretty
twerking,
much.
flame twerk.
So we got Thunderbolts, and this has kind of sent the internet into a frenzy. And this is because a lot of people are upset at the lineup.
Oh, I thought you meant friends here. Guys, we were like losing their minds. So
no. I mean, like people that there's people that there's two things that are glaring here: Abomination and Baron Zemo are the big ones. And I know people have mentioned Red Hulk. I didn't necessarily think Red Hulk was going to be in this. But Abomination, I did think was going to show up, and I kind of thought Baron Zemo was going to show up. But some people believe that Baron Zemo is going to be the villain, and that Red Hulk may actually be the thing that they have to face off against, because it's going to be Red Hulk is a government experiment, and the Thunderbolts is a government Avengers. So a lot of people think they're going to have to go after the Red Hulk, because the Red Hulk is going to be a problem, and Abomination can still show up. I don't know.
Who are they going to make the Red Hulk? Are they just going to recast Thunderbolt Ross?
I don't know. I have no idea. Or they could make him a completely different person.
Does he have a son?
I don't think so.
I bet
There's a daughter, obviously.
There was more than one Red Hulk, so I mean,
Yeah,
they
there
could
was,
always just
yeah.
go with the other option.
But it's
Well,
also the fact that it's called the Thunderbolts as well. Like that's
Yeah.
the unless he dies and they name him, they honor the team name after
So,
him. But
what do we think of this lineup? And we're going to go through these. We got Valentina, we have Ghost, we have
Ugh.
Red Guardian, we have Yelena, we have Bucky, we have U.S. Agent, and we have Taskmaster. Is this? What do you think of this? Because you have to remember, this is a government-sanctioned superhero team. So these are characters they think they can control. That's why.
well,
they're doing this.
there's a couple. Like I'm surprised they'd get 2 Russians and then Winter Soldier to line up with that, especially after the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier with Bucky.
Right.
Like, I'm not surprised by US Agent. I'm not surprised by whatever the Louise Dreyfus character's called.
Valentina. She's kind of the leader
Valentina,
of the team. Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm not surprised she's involved because she was obviously roping in US Agent. Taskmaster, no fucking clue why they're there. I still haven't seen Black Widow, so I have no opinion on the character, but Ghost, don't know. I mean, I thought the character was.
I think Ghost is cool. Ghost is very powerful. I just don't know.
But yeah, I think just in regards to what you see in Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Yeah.
it just didn't leave an impression. So obviously they didn't tap into the potential there.
Yeah.
So
we all know
the only ones.
I'm a Winter Soldier stan, so I will always take as much Winter Soldier as they want to give.
I honestly, the only reason Bucky is there is because I feel as if Valentina went to get him because she needs somebody that she knows could keep the others in line potentially.
So he's the one like safeguard for all of them. Is that what you're saying?
I would think of him as the Rick Flag.
Okay. Like if things go sideways, he has to be the one to like rein it in.
Yes. Taskmaster, the way I see it is, okay, you have 3 super soldiers. You literally have 3 of the same person with Red Guardian, Bucky, and John Walker. You have 3 of the same person. Then you add in a spy on top of that. You got your Black Widow. You have 3 of the same powers plus Taskmaster, who can basically mimic their power set. And I'm guessing she may. Well, who's to say this is the same?
I want to remind everyone, because I think people seem to forget this because a lot of people just don't like this version of Taskmaster. They didn't actually beat Taskmaster. Taskmaster decided to just stop fighting.
Yeah.
So we have to remember that Taskmaster isn't, because a lot of people say, oh, it's just a super soldier. Taskmaster is more than a super soldier. I would say next to Ghost, the next most powerful person on this team is Taskmaster. In my opinion.
My only question on this is like, are they going to? I'm just thinking like the back and forth and how they go about it, especially in the MCU style. Like, I'm just wondering if it'll work. But I saw someone compare it on Twitter. Like, it's like, okay, obviously it's like their attempt at Suicide Squad or something. And I was just thinking, okay, well, Taskmaster is like a Deathstroke or like Bloodsport. US Agent is Peacemaker.
Yelena is absolutely a good character. What are you talking about?
You're saying that
literally
Bucky
made the whole Hawkeye series for me.
You're saying that Bucky is Rick Flag. Yelena is Harley Quinn based off the goggles on the head. You got, I don't know, we'll make whatever David Harbour's character is called is.
Hey, he lost that weight.
Well, that's because David Harbour did lose the weight for Stranger Things too. So
yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't mind putting back on cheeseburgers. Woo. And then I know what's Ghost, Polka Dot Man, and then I know Louise Dreyfus.
I thought they got rid of Ghost's powers, or I got to rewatch that.
I think we're going to find out a lot of things have changed by the time we get to this movie.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
I will say this, that yes, there are 4 characters, or actually 3 characters on this team that are very similar, which is Red Guardian, Winter Soldier, and US Agent. Yelena is a Black Widow. Black Widow. We have known about this for a long time. There are dozens of Black Widow characters that are essentially all have the same skills. This is just Yelena. Ghost is a character that is very different. We don't have anything quite like this character anywhere in the MCU. And Taskmaster is a hybrid, like part person, part machine type character. And they even said that they might try to take Taskmaster in the direction of the comic book version. So I don't know. We might see if they try and go, because I know they did a gender flip on Taskmaster, but maybe they're going to make it more like the Marvel Comics version. I'm not sure. I like this lineup because I like most of these characters. I like Yelena, I like Red Guardian, I like Bucky, I like Ghost. I think those 4 alone for me are enough for me to go, okay, I'm kind of curious to see where this is going to happen. Taskmaster's fine. I don't really have much of an opinion about Taskmaster. US Agent is a piece of shit, and I can't wait to see how they try and change that storyline. And Valentina, we don't really know enough about her, honestly. So I think the antagonist is going to be Zemo and Red Hulk. That's who I think it's going to be. Maybe not as a team, but I think those 2 are going to be there, for that reason. So we'll see. I will say this, D23 did seem a little underwhelming for a lot of people, and I think that has to do with the fact that we got so much information at Comic-Con. Could you imagine if all that Comic-Con information would have also been revealed at D23? It would have been completely out of this world. So, no. Okay, so the Superman watch-along is scheduled. If you go to the community tab, it will tell you there the time and date for it. And like bookmark that. I'll post that up tomorrow. Like it'll be scheduled tomorrow so you can remember notifications. All right, we're pretty much wrapping everything up. What is this, Pagey?
I didn't realize you had your own Disney Plus series coming out.
I hate the redesign on his Santa.
Interesting.
Didn't realize it's obviously, I don't know why it's a Christmas thing coming out November 16. Makes sense. I guess it's 2 episodes. Oh, it's an episode. Okay. So by the time the final episode comes out, it'll be around Christmas. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a Santa Claus's TV series. So yeah, you're right.
Yes, he's going to be looking for his replacement without dying. But have you heard the Santa Claus theory?
No.
That he saw his future self as Santa. A future version of himself was Santa, and he killed his future version, which is how he kept the cycle of Santa going.
Oh. Interesting. Well, all right. This will be the last super chat that we're going to get out of here because I have an event to get to. So, Naruto with the $5 super chat. Are you interested in the Captain America Black Panther game? I saw very little of it. But I'm always down for a game. I'll give it a shot and see what it's like, unless it gets really, really, really bad reviews, like early reviews.
19-year-old Captain America with Black T'Challa.
Is it T'Challa or T'Chaka?
It's his grandfather, Azura.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is back in World War II.
Okay. All right, that's it. We have another quick super chat, but I have to get out of here, guys. So
Lord Genome is hilarious.
Did you give up on Lucer reviews? I've talked about this before. YouTube was flagging them constantly. I couldn't release them every time I did one because it was not just a review. I was actually reacting to it, and YouTube basically was like, nope, you can't do that. So maybe I'll go back. I mean, I could do reviews of it, but I can't do reactions.
Wait, when's the big L debuting, Eric? Have you got an update on the Big L?
Don't know. No updates on that yet. So
no updates.
No updates. The intro is done, but no updates on a release for it. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm out of here. We'll see everyone later.